Good afternoon, this is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com, and today I'm going over a failed gap, which is UNH. This gap down today with all the healthcare sector gaps, they all gap down, they were in news. And the interesting thing is I did rate them all this morning. I rated like 3 of them. All of them, first of all, when I saw them, initially in the morning I saw them, I said, oh, these look kind of good. And then I found out the reason. I said, and then as they kept trading and trading, I said, you know what, I have an instinct they're not going to work. In the meantime, I said, you know what, I'm going to refer to the rating system. The rating system is there for a reason to tell me what plays are going to work and which ones aren't. And so I rated them. I rated this UNH. It rated at 19 points. What does 19 mean? In my point system, which is a 26-point rating system, something has to get 20 points or higher to be quality, to be good, to trade. This rated 19, and so did all the others, or less. So the bottom line is that I never took a trade in this. It might have worked at 19. At 19, there's a 50-50 chance the trade will work or it won't work at that rating. Sometimes they do, but they set up later. As it turns out, though, this didn't work at all. Never took it, never traded, never did anything in it. And the funny thing was, my instinct was dead on. All right, was just right on. Here's the thing. These healthcares are going to be in play from now and for a while. They're going to be in play, and the volatility is going to be in play, and you take it as it comes. If you want to trade these things, be my guest. They're going to flip and flop and gap up and gap down and do all kinds of crazy nutsy stuff. Why? Because the government's involved in the news and the reports that come out in these things now with with the new healthcare program that's not even in effect yet, but everyone knows it's going into effect. In fact, from now until the time that thing goes into effect and then afterwards, these things are going to be so news driven. It's not going to be like normal trading in them. It's just not. They're going to do stuff they're not supposed to do. The charts are going to be messy and sloppy. I'm probably going to stay away from them. I've looked at it in the morning. I'm going to look at them if they do stuff, but to take every gap like this on news, even if it looks like it might work, if this had rated higher, if it had rated more than 20 points, which it didn't, maybe I would have watched it to trade it, but I didn't. And look what it did. This is insane. Look at the move this thing had today. What would you have done with it? It was a bearish gap, and it didn't work. And normally I say with these, they can, if they're solid, if they're good, you can go take them the next day. There's nothing to do with this here now. It's rallied way too much. You just got to be off of it. It actually didn't even make it down to the whole number, which was 54, but it did flip here at the bottom. Look, within a couple pennies of it, it just got bought, and we'll go over that in a minute. But that's what it did here. Actually, there it is. The close of this bar here on this day, on the 14th of December, it held it 54.05, and down here it went down here to 54.04, and then it got bought. So never took a trade in this today. I watched my NDX, but I will tell you, I do not do gaps that do not work. I don't do them. Okay, in the opposite direction. In other words, if I trade bearish gaps, if I see the one isn't going to work, which I would have saw this wasn't going to work, I'm not going to flip it long. I just don't do that. It starts to screw with your head. If you did want to trade this long, if you had an instinct like me that the gap wasn't going to work and you wanted to buy it, okay, because the thing is you could have bought it and made money in this today. The play was immediately, though. The play was immediately. There wasn't really as clean of a play if you did it later, but the play was first thing. Where was it? You buy the double bottom right down here. Aggressive, tight stop, under the low of the day. You got paid. Beautiful, beautiful. You take the 1 minute buy up here. It's still only 15 cents as a stop. And you get a nice move up here, and you're out of the whole thing into this rally. And into the 9:45, 10 o'clock time frame, you're out. You're out of the whole thing. Now, if you wanted to get back in this, I don't think there was a clean play, but let's just look at it. No, there wasn't. There was no clean play in here. Not the rest of the day. This is junk. Junk. Why is this junk the rest of the day? Because the stock really didn't work right. Because it was a bearish gap. It was a bearish gap, but it failed and didn't work right. So there was no play in it after that. No clean play in it after that. That play I just said was it. That was it. In fact, let's just see. The market hasn't closed yet today, but I think it's just going to rally into the close here and maybe come in a little bit. This could go up to 56.75. That's the next target. Yeah, 56.75. There it is. That's a target. 56.75 is a target on this today. And after that, I'll just come in and close a little. I don't think it's going to get over there. So all the healthcares didn't work right today. They were bearish gaps. On the surface, at first glance, they looked good based on the chart. When I rated them, though, my rating system tells me, it's not that good. And my instinct told me then something was up with these things, that they weren't going to work right. And the fact is, these things are going to flip-flop sideways on gaps on news from now until for a long, long time. It's just, you know, what does that mean? They're not going to play out normally. If they rated well and the quality of the gap was good, then maybe. But, you know, it's almost like the thing has to show immediate weakness. And, you know, it didn't do it. It absolutely didn't do it. Sometimes once in a blue moon, I will let something rally and take it up and short it. But what happened here, the rally back to the 50 here would have been too much. It would have been $1. And it didn't even matter. It didn't even stop it. It didn't even stop it. It didn't even stop it here. This 50 and the 200 as a ceiling floor for this thing did not stop it from pushing up through it. And really, you knew that today. Did a double bottom at 931 and never looked back. And you don't short into a bar that looks like this anyways. Let's just be honest. Look. You're going to short into something like that? That's the first 15 minutes of the day. No way. That was the move I showed you to buy the double bottom. Forget it. Okay, $1.50 move in that first morning day. That was the only play this thing had. There is no proper entry in here. No clean entry in here. If you took this, it failed. If you took this, you got paid. But how would you take this when this failed? Time of the day here is stinky. 2:30. It's a crap time. All right. And really, 75 is the target here. Is it even going to get there? You know what? 65 is the first target. Let's look at this. This is trading live here. All right, the first target is actually 56.65. Second target is 56.75. Actually, it's done. It's done for the day right now. It's not going to get it to 75. It's just going to come in. It just dinged a penny under that, above that tail. It's done. It's done for the day here now. So there really was no clean long in this after the first play. And my instinct told me it wasn't going to work. That's something that's a learned instinct and intuition. But I do have a gap system that I use that solidifies my rating. And that is not something an intuition. That's a real system I use by go point by point by point in 26 things. And I use the daily chart to make those decisions on the points. And that told me today this was a 19, which was not good enough. Might work, might not. Would have known right away it wasn't going to work. Why? Immediate double bottom, hard rally up. It basically did a reverse swoosh in the first 5 minutes of the day. There's nothing to do. Look at the first green bar of the 15 minutes. People short into these things. I never do. Don't short strength. Short weakness. Don't buy weakness. Buy strength. Okay? Period. End of story. Otherwise, you can get run over by a Mack truck. You know what I'm saying? So this is UNH failed gap down on the 19th of February. And if you're interested in the Stock Swoosh trading room, please feel free to contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. I'm also doing a trading psychology class this weekend. And with that class, I'm offering 1 free month in the Stock Swoosh trading room for the month of March. It's a great deal. It's 2 for 1. The trading psychology class is called Wealth Manifestation. The cost is $350, and you get a month free in the Stock Swoosh trading room besides the class, and the fee for the room is normally $250 a month. So it's a great deal. It's a 2 for 1 deal. And there's only a couple spots left in the class. So if you're interested in the class this Sunday, please feel free to contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night.